My name's Aaron, and this is my wife, Jennifer. And our story kind of begins right around the time we got married. We felt called to the mission field, so we pretty much got married and took off to Africa. And my wife and I lived off of, $250 a month while doing missions work for those 2 years. It started getting really hard serving and also trying to keep up with our debt while living off of such low funds from our supporters. And so we felt called to come back home to California and pour all of our time and efforts into getting out of debt so that we'd have the freedom to be able to serve in the way God wanted us to.
Most of our debt was coming from my husband's school loans. And so sometimes we would have fights coming from my own heart. I would use hurtful words towards my husband saying, it's your debt, it's your fault. This is, our situation is because of you. And I know that that wasn't right. And God was just teaching me that, we're one and we need to fight for our marriage and fight for our finances together.
We didn't have much. We sold almost everything we had. It was a hard season of our life.
There were so many times that I felt so burdened by the weight of our debt. And, we were giving to the church at the time, and I just remember the heartache of actually giving our money away to other people, to the church, and thinking, no, trying to justify that we should be putting that money either towards our debt or towards living. And that was a really hard time for me to understand why God would be taking our money away. But God did reveal to me through my husband why it was important to tithe. The joy of tithing and giving to others made us feel like we had surplus, made us feel like we weren't in bondage to debt.
We started putting every penny we could towards our debt. We even started a side business doing photography so we can make some extra cash to put wholly towards the school loans and the debt. And we put thousands of dollars a month sometimes towards the debt to pay it off as quick as possible. It was neat seeing the principal balances drop significantly and seeing the interest accrued each month get less and less.
But I felt like God just kept telling me over and over again that it was going to be okay, and that there were certain things that I could let go of and that He would fulfill for me. And I just found strength trusting in Him and trusting in the plans that He had for me and my husband. And so I just held on to that, and anytime that I did want something, or I felt like I had or I felt like I didn't have something, I would just pray about it, and I gave it up to God, and I just trusted Him.
I feel like God was teaching us not that we're not allowed to want things or have things, but that those things had control over us. He took away the grip that money had on us. The $20,000 or so that we paid back was, I don't even care that that we spent all that money to get out of debt. It was worth it to me. It feels good being free like that.